Very good morning to you and thanks for joining us on The Breakfast. My name is Nyamgul Agaji. On the show this morning, Sanwo-Olu signs Lagos electricity bill into law and minimum wage strike ground states and FCT. Those are our major topics for this morning. Of course, we're going to have our top trending issues, and also we will be looking at the headlines that made it to the front pages of some of our national dailies. Once again, good morning and welcome to this day. It's the 4th of December 2024, which means it's 21 days to Christmas and less than 30 days. Let's just put it that way, to the new year. So by God's grace, we are all going to celebrate the new year together. But remember, December is just another month, and every day that comes is just another day to be thankful to God for. There's no pressure. There's going to be another December next year, so don't pressure yourself that I have to do everything in this December and I have to fulfill all the things that I could not fulfill from January to December. You still have some time. If you don't have time, then there's no point. If you still have time, then there's no point. That's what you should know. Like one great philosopher said, or one wise man said, if you have the solution to a thing, why worry? If you don't have a solution to the thing, why worry? There's absolutely no reason to worry. And right now, you know that if you have time on your hands, there's no need to worry because you still have time to fulfill whatever you need to fulfill. If you don't have time on your hands, then why worry? Because whatever kind of worry you have, it will not change anything. If the Lord calls you today, there's no point worrying because he's already called you. If he doesn't call you today, then that means you have another opportunity, so why worry? So there's absolutely no reason for you to worry in this world. Like I said, December will still come next year, and God willing, you will still get there. So don't pressure yourself. Enter into the new year, or enjoy this season and enter into the new year happy as you can be. For some people, eating chicken this December will be a problem, so don't think it. Don't just make sure that you feed yourself and then you're happy. And if you have a friend who can afford chicken, why not? Just stroll into that house. It's allowed this time, and enjoy yourself. But that's just by the way. Today is going to be a wonderful day, and it's a day to make up for everything that you have lost and what you want your future to be like. And then every other thing shall be added unto you. Don't forget, there's a higher power than you. Whether you believe in God or not, there's always a higher power that you will look up to when things go really, really rough. But we made it this far, and we're going to make it even more. We're going to take a short break and look at the quote for the day, and after that, we'll continue the program. Stay with us. Our quote for this morning is from John Lasseter, and he says, "The art challenges the technology, and the technology inspires the art. The art challenges the technology, and the technology inspires the art." John Lasseter. Very important. In my language, they say, "Ebo koyon fum koyon bo." That roughly translated is, when the hand washes the mortar also washes the hand. And you know what that is in English. So whatever you do, remember that nothing is useless. One complements the other. If you look at what technology is today, it probably is a lot of things that writers in years before, writers of yesteryear had written, and it seemed like it was an impossibility. And then these things are now translated into technology, into what we see today. There were writers who wrote about planes when planes were not dreamt of. There were writers who wrote about communication like we have the gadgets today, our phones and all that. And today, technology has brought that to the fore. So it's as if technology is looking to the arts for a challenge, and the arts also is looking to technology to improve on its craft and all that. So both of them complement each other. So this is not about technology and arts. This is about you and I. Don't think that you are better than the next person, because without the next person, you may not even be what you are, and you may not even know what you are. Because like they say, you can never know there is light if there's no darkness. If there's always light, then you don't know that light is light. You will need darkness to know that there is light. And you will need light to know that there is darkness. So one complements each other. You will need the ups to know that there are downs, and you'll need downs to know that there are ups in your life. So wherever you find yourself, know that everything is a complement to you, and you should never look down on anybody or any situation, because you either earn from the situation or you learn from the situation, whether it's a job, whether it's friendship that went sour, or whatever it is in your life, you are learning from it or earning from it. There's always something to get from that. So in case you're a rich man, the richest one among your friends, and you're looking down on everybody else, or in the community you're the richest man and you're looking down on everybody else, just imagine if those people you're calling poor did not exist. How much of that your money can go to, maybe you have a farm, or maybe you have a company, how much of that your money can go to your company to work for you? In essence, you're only rich because you have these same people you're looking down on as very poor. You have a house help in your house, and you're thinking that because I'm paying the house help, I am a god over this house help. Just imagine if you don't have, or you didn't have that house help, the kind of things that you'll be doing. You'll wake up in the morning, you take care of your children, you bathe them, you prepare them for school, and then you have to come go to work, and then leave work, go to pick them from school and all that. So many things that your house help will do and you cannot do, but you're still looking down at that person. It's a very wrong thing. You think that you are above everybody else. Don't think that, because without those people, you will not be who you are. If you get to do everything by yourself, then what's the point of being rich? So see these people as giving you a service which you cannot get, and you giving them the money which they need. That is how it is. You're giving money, your money is proportionate to the work that that person is doing, so you're not giving anything extra. In fact, in most cases, you're giving less than the services that these people are rendering to you. So, like I said, the quote was not about art or technology. It's about complementing each other and respecting whatever situation another person is, and knowing that you have to learn from that. You have to be grateful for what you are and even what the next person is, because that's how God made it. So we hope that you've learned something today. We'll just look at the weather a little bit, if it is possible, and when we return, we'll be taking our top trending issues. You're welcome back. It's time to take some stories that, that caught our fancy in the last 24 hours. Human rights lawyer Dele Farotimi was reportedly arrested by Nigerian police, sparking outrage from activist Omoyele Sowore. Sowore criticized the arrest on social media, describing it as an abuse of police powers for personal disputes and demanding Farotimi's immediate release. He warned the police against misuse of authority, stating that Nigerians would not tolerate such actions. Despite Sowore's claims, the Lagos Zone 2 Police Command denied the arrest. Spokesperson SP Umar Ayuba clarified that Farotimi was not in their custody, contradicting Sowore's assertion. This raised questions about the circumstances surrounding the lawyer's situation. Meanwhile, Ekiti State Police Commissioner Adeniran Akinwale confirmed Farotimi's arrest, accusing him of defamation and cyber-stalking. Akinwale disclosed that these allegations were central to an ongoing investigation which aims to determine the lawyer's culpability in the alleged offenses. The commissioner assured that due process would be followed. Farotimi's arrest highlights a contentious issue of police involvement in civil disputes. It has drawn attention from the public and human rights advocates who called for transparency in the case. The conflicting accounts from the police command has also emphasized the need for clarity in handling such high-profile legal matters. Okay, a lawyer arrested because of defamation, cyber stalking, and all that. Sometimes all these things are very big words that they just use to confuse us and say someone is guilty and all that. What is the cyber bullying? What is the cyber stalking? What's the defamation? What did he say actually? And sometimes these definitions are according to who is saying what. For instance, someone can be arrested for defaming the government or defaming a governor. He's talking down on the governor. The governor is not doing this, the governor is not doing that, or the president is not doing this or that, and he gets arrested. That it is cyber stalking, it's cyber bullying, it's defamation, it's all sorts of what we call in Nigeria grammar. But what if it is the president who said it? What if it's the governor who said it? At one time, our president went out to the international scene and said that Nigerian youths are lazy. We don't know what to do. We are just lazy. Nigerian youths, that everywhere we go, everybody knows that Nigerians are both intelligent and industrious. Otherwise, how are we even surviving in this country? And you called us lazy. But that was not a bad thing because it was said by the president. Recently, a youth went out on a podcast that is not an international television or something, even though the social media has made it so much, and said that the economy is in shambles. And he was nearly crucified because he said that. And they said, because you are a celebrity, you should never say that. And then our president went out and said that Nigerians or Africans in general are so poor that just bread and milk will keep the children in school, telling you that these people do not even have what to eat at home and they need international assistance for them to be able to eat bread and milk in school and all that. And for a lot of us, that was a very great insult to the Nigerian people. If you're begging for help, if you're begging for arms, cap in hand, in a country where people who were affiliated to them are living, do that with your full chest and don't drag the children into it and say that it's because of poverty that people don't go to school and all that, because they need food to eat while they are in school. The national feeding program that was instituted, what came about it? How many schools were being fed? Even the schools that they said were having these meals. In my little research going around the schools, I didn't see those things. Most of the time, it will be when a government official is about to visit that school that we see them boiling yam or buying what we call agege bread and making some tea for the children and all that. And that's the end of it. In fact, I had a lot of schools near where I stay, and those were some of the schools that were mentioned as government schools that children were being fed there. Nothing happened. So you're looking for international aid to come and still give money to the people who will not even make the food get to the people that should get this food. So when you're talking defamation, when you're talking cyber stalking and all that, we should have clear-cut definitions that no matter who says it, he's going to answer for it and let us know. It's not just to use it to intimidate the populace, because we are not at the corridors of power. If you are in the opposition, and by opposition I don't mean people in other political parties, if you are in the opposition of what the government is doing, whether you are a neutral person, you don't belong to any party, you're just branded as such, and then all hell will be let loose on you. Whatever the case, we are calling for the authorities to always make adequate investigation, have the facts before they arrest somebody. Not to arrest and then start investigation, and then after a long while, maybe after 1 month, you release that person. If the person doesn't have people who will talk for him, then he remains in detention. Now this lawyer has been arrested. We don't know if he's still in detention or he has been freed, but whatever it is, he has been arrested in what a lot of Nigerians are thinking are very frivolous allegations that should never be. But if these allegations are true, let there be transparency in this investigation and everything. And if he's liable or if he's culpable, if he's guilty, send him to jail. But if not, then whatever happens, you have to compensate him for time wasted, for defamation of him, because if you later find out that he is not guilty, that means you have told the public that he's a nuisance to the public. So that's also defamation. So you have to compensate him for that and all that. People are not held accountable for misdeeds. If you are police, you can get away with it. If you are EFCC or any other agency, you can get away with it. You just grab somebody, put him in detention. After a while, you free him, and no case. Like Human Rights said the other day that 24 people were killed during the End Bad Governance protest, and police said it was a lie. After that, they came out and said it's just 7 persons, I think, that died during that End Bad Governance protest. So, which means people actually died. In what circumstances did they die, and what are they doing about it? Are the families of these people going to be compensated? Nothing can compensate for life anyway, but will they be contacted and maybe an apology given or something? Or will the people who did this be held accountable for their actions? Because some of these people may have died out of extrajudicial killings or something. Even though they will come out and say accidental discharge or they shot into the air. I don't know how anytime they bring that argument, it's always like a solid one. You shoot into the air and then catches someone on the ground. I don't know how that works, but it usually is an excuse. So whoever is guilty should go in for it, and proper investigations should be done, and arrests should be made at the point where you have solid evidence, not arrest and then detain and then you start investigation. It doesn't work. It shouldn't work that way. Maybe the police laws or whatever is establishing the police gives them that right, but I don't think it's a good thing to do. Whatever the laws are saying, change them if that is what it is. Do your investigations, have solid facts, and as soon as you arrest that person, prosecute the person, and we will get to the point where people will start believing you. Otherwise, most times it's just like you are just witch hunting some people who are dissenting voices rather. The second top trending is that President Bola Tinubu has instructed the Ministry of Justice and the National Assembly to address issues raised over the proposed tax reform bills. Now, critics, particularly from the northern region, argue that the bills could harm their communities and deepen poverty. Tinubu's administration maintains that the process is transparent and open to input from stakeholders, assuring Nigerians that all concerns will be reviewed before the bills are finalized. Minister of Information Mohammed Idris emphasized Tinubu's commitment to democracy, accountability, and national unity. He dismissed claims of targeting specific regions as fake news and encouraged constructive dialogue instead of divisive rhetorics. The minister explained that the reforms are designed to empower local government and ensure equitable growth while addressing key economic challenges. Amid widespread debates, there was a town hall meeting that was hosted by a TV station with experts and officials, including Tax Reform Committee head Taiwo Oyedele. Participants acknowledged the bill's transformative potential but called for adjustments to contentious provisions. Oyedele urged Nigerians to focus on the broader benefits rather than isolated issues. The bills have advanced to second reading in the Senate despite ongoing opposition. While some leaders caution against regional bias, others advocate for dialogue to resolve disputes. Proponents argue the reforms will enhance infrastructure, economic development, and social welfare for all Nigerians, ensuring no region is marginalized. Now, according to experts, this bill, one of the greatest things about this bill is that how do we even say it in Nigeria? Monkey the walk, baboon the chop should end. Yes, that's how we put it in Nigeria. So, for instance, the VAT, people who generate this VAT more should enjoy more. That is what it is in summary. And some people are not very comfortable with that. Some of the things that the bills will do, according to experts, I don't know how that is, but according to experts, is that it will make the governors think out of the box. It's not enough to just sit and then after the month ends, you go and sit for a FAC meeting, you share the allocations, and then you come back and begin to do whatever you need to do with the money that the federal government is giving you. Some states are really, really lazy. State governors are really, really lazy. There is no state in Nigeria that cannot improve their IGR. There's no argument to say that it is going to be Lagos and Port Harcourt or River State that will enjoy, and maybe the FCT. Why will they enjoy? Because they are very aggressive in their drive for IGR. So why can't the other states do that as well? And by talking about IGR, it's not just by taxing people and all that. What have you done to make sure the mineral resources that are there are exploited much? What have you done to make sure the human resources that are there are exploited to its fullest? There are countries in this world that don't have mineral resources. I think Taiwan or so is one of those places. But technology has put them in the limelight, and everybody is talking about them. So there is no excuse whatsoever to say, okay, we don't have oil in our state, we don't have gold in our state, we don't have this and that. What are you doing to build the human capital that you have in that state? What are you doing to lure or make people come invest in your state? There's no state that we cannot invest in, no matter how poor you think that state can be. But if you make the conditions so conducive, people will come and invest in that state. We're talking about Lagos State being a very big state and all that. Almost every company we're thinking about is in Ogun State, for instance. Ogun State is making their cool cash out of that because the condition of establishing a business or a company in Ogun State, the conditions are a little bit better than Lagos State. So they establish in Ogun State and the market is Lagos State and all that. So no matter what you are and where you are, if the conditions are favorable, the companies, the investors will come into your state and your IGR will go up. So think outside the box and woo some investors to come to your state and encourage people to do what they need to do. Every state has something to offer, but it just takes an innovative governor to be able to do that. So this era of cap in hand without any governor thinking outside the box should stop. And I think that's one thing. But it brings to the fore the fact that consultations need to be done very widely, especially in sensitive issues like this. It's not a bad thing that people are talking against this. It could bring something really good. It will make everybody have a sense of belonging because at the end of the day, they will contribute to making the bills as transparent and as friendly as possible. But let it not be a case where we should have had our independence in 1958 and the North was saying that they were not educated enough, that the South was going to lord it over them, so they should give them more time. And then we had independence in 1960, 2 years late. I hope that is not going to be the case, that some people are just thinking about what can come to them. But let's hope that the best comes out of this. And finally, and very, very fast, suspected internet fraudsters in Edo State. That's the next report now we're taking. Fraud syndicate targets members over 94 million naira scam proceeds. So the suspected internet fraudsters in Edo State shot a collaborator identified as an Azaman after a disagreement over the sharing formula for 94 million naira from an online scam. The victim, accosted while driving his SUV on Okoro Road, Ego local government area, was shot at close range by gunmen in another vehicle. Sources revealed that the victim had withheld the entire sum, violating an agreement with his syndicate. His refusal to share the proceeds escalated tensions within the group. The term Azaman refers to individuals who provide bank accounts for fraudulent transactions. The victim reportedly reneged on the agreed percentage, sparking the violent retaliation. Police spokesperson SP Moses Yamu confirmed the incident, stating that investigations are ongoing to apprehend the perpetrators. The victim is currently receiving medical treatment. Well, you're a thief and you still want to steal from another thief, a fellow thief. I don't know how that works. It's very funny, but maybe we don't know the full story. Let him recover from whatever is going on. They said he was shot, but If he's receiving treatment, that means he didn't die. So we wish him speedy recovery, whatever it is. But these people are scammers. We hope that the law will be brought to bear. You scam someone, you get 94,000, and then greed will not allow you to share even the spoils of your wrong deeds. And all of them are just guilty. Until we hear the true story, maybe let's just keep our fingers crossed. But whatever it is, don't be greedy. That's it. I'm not saying this because I'm advising the scammers to continue scamming and doing that, but it could also be in any other business. You have an agreement with your business partner, and when you see the money, you want to let greed creep in, and you want to take the whole lump sum. And some people even plot the debt of the person they are supposed to settle. You're owing someone, it's the same thing. Someone is asking you for the return of his money, and instead of returning the money, you're hiring assassins and maybe paying them half of the money that you're supposed to pay back to the person. What happened to explaining yourself and doing the best that you can to make sure that you pay at least in installments? But you're not doing that. You just want the whole lump sum to yourself, and you want to eliminate the person. This one was reverse anyway, but I'm just using this case study for business partners. And that's why in Nigeria, a lot of businesses are sole proprietorship businesses. There are just one person running everything. Partnerships are what brings people to great wealth. You partner with someone else, and then your business grows, and maybe more than 1,000% what it could have been if you were just alone. But people don't trust each other, and that is why everybody just wants to be a lone ranger. It's wrong. We should start to rethink ourselves so that business will be good. Forget about what the story was, that it was scammers against scammers, but we're talking business right now. Be sure that you're transparent enough with your business deals and with your business partners. And, you know, our businesses will grow and flourish. That's all for top trending issues. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll look at the press and see what the headlines are on some of our national dailies. Stay with us.